Hello guys, my name is Gabriel Roberts from Roberts Bushcraft. Today I'm in the backyard reviewing the Bestargot French Press. This thing is really neat. It's titanium, lightweight, and so far I'm pretty impressed. But of course, as you know, we have to put it through the test first. Today we're going to be making some coffee, as you can hear right beside you. We're also going to be baking something in this Bestargot French press. Now I think you're really going to like it. Not going to tell you what I'm baking. It's a little bit of a surprise, so you have to stick around till the end. Let's jump right into it. This thing is pretty neat. I'm going to show you some comparisons to the Stanley Adventure Cup as well as the all-in-one boil and brew, just to give you some size comparison. But all in all, I'm very impressed with this thing right out of the box. Spout up front, as you can see there. Butterfly handles. Really neat. See, the water is getting right about where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Time to add in some coffee. Take a look at that. Good stuff. And there you go. Alrighty. Grab the mug. Yes, Christmas in July. Surely does not feel like it outside, I can tell you that. Oh yeah. Give that a taste. Alrighty, let's give that a try. Not bad. As you saw while I was pouring it, it definitely wasn't too weak of a coffee. I don't think it's too strong either. I think it's right there where it needs to be. Very nice. No coffee grinds at all in the coffee. That I poured after pressing it, of course. So all in all, I think that filter works very well on that press. Quite impressed. And you know, you can actually change those filters as well. They sell replacements. So if anything ever happened to it, or you know, it's just, you know, time to get a new one, you can always buy another one. All right. Let's try some baking in this thing. So, in order to bake in this French press here, basically you need to form some kind of container. I'm just using some aluminum foil. I've just doubled it up. Kind of use my hand to form this around on the inside, using my fist and my fingers just to kind of shape it up. And now I've also formed up a little bit of a trivet. So basically that's what it'll look like down on the bottom. This just provides a little bit of space between the bottom of the container and the coals. And basically, if you don't have that, it'll burn on the bottom, and it's not going to be good. Nice little trivet, go a long way. That'll get dropped in, and then this will go right on top.
These are some fresh blackberries we picked at our church yesterday. Man, even when they fall on the ground, we'll knock that dirt off and eat them anyway. We have no idea how many blackberries this is. I'm just kind of going by looks here.
I'd say maybe a cup, 3/4 of a cup to a cup. Now this is normally thinner, but this heat has made this thicken up a little bit.
It's North Carolina heat. Now, typically you do not want to
stir this, but I need to kind of allow it to get down there to the bottom. Again, normally this is a lot more liquidy. This is very thick. Let me just make sure that's getting, yeah, so that's getting down there. Okay, so that should be good. I'm gonna put a little bit more up top, just to cover it up. A few more blackberries to garnish it. Just like that. Now on the fire it goes. Just need to cover that up so no ashes get in from the briquettes up top. And that just goes on like that. So I have 5 briquettes just sitting here. That's what I'm going to use on the bottom. Now what I'm going to use on the top here are 5 as well. That sticks, don't.
And there's all that ash we didn't want. Oh well, that's flavor.
Alrighty. Got a little bit of a homemade oven kind of type deal here. Well, really not an oven, but more of a windbreak. Pull this off the coals. Right out here. That bell wire is pretty nice, even for things like that. As you saw there, I set up a windscreen, so I need to be able to reach over my windscreen to be able to grab my pot. So, pretty nice little feature there. Now there is going to be some ash in here, because at the very beginning that piece moved, but I think it should be somewhat minimal.
Check that out. Okay. We might have a winner here.
All right. Now, am I going to be able to get this out without completely destroying my collar? Kind of use this.
Could move your bell wire out of the way.
Right. Uh-oh.
We're doing it. Check it out.
Oh, no.
What, did it break through?
No, it's like it spilled over or something.
It may have found its way through. Let's see.
I think it did.
Check that out. So we did have a little burn in there. We had a little leak in here.
A little, yeah. Oh, see right here in the corner.
But it have,
but it didn't burn.
Oh, it leaked through right there. Okay.
Sure did. But thankfully, it looks like. Well, hang on. Let me give it a smell to see. I don't smell any burn. I'm kind of smelling this, so I think probably that'll be okay. Yep, and you can definitely tell by the smell of that. So let's just kind of pick away at it. Oh, look at that. See, look, you can see the aluminum foil down at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So that's perfect.
Man, I can smell it from here. That's fantastic. Look at that. Man.
Wow. It's got like a, man, it's got like a, not a crust, but like a little bit of a, I don't know how to describe it, but it's got a very nice top to it.
A little crunchy top, a little crunchy texture at the top of it, maybe?
Flaky, that's a good word to describe it. Flaky, it's like a flaky layer up top.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got. I can't tell. All right, so I'm going to take the pieces that have the ash on it. Look at that. We could have had a little more heat on the bottom. Maybe. Let's see what we got here. Man, it smells perfect.
Okay.
Hot.
Yeah.
I get the crunch that you're talking about now.
Right there at the end, I put a little bit more coals up top, so it's like it
gave it a crisp.
Exactly.
It's not flaky,
crisp,
but it gave it a crisp. It's fantastic. Mix all this up. Now, Gabriel pointed out just a minute ago, a lot of the dough, half of the dough, ran out of the bottom onto the bottom of the container. Man, look at that. Good gracious. Alright, so we're gonna take this out. See if there's any information to be gleaned from this.
stuck pretty good.
Yeah, it's stuck pretty good. However,
definitely burned to the bottom.
Burn to the bottom, but that's good and done there. I mean, but that's good and done there. That's pretty good. So it is burned to the bottom pretty good. So I think we did have enough heat down there. But again, that's not, I'd still eat this. This looks pretty good. Obviously the char part, there's a lot of char down in the bottom here in this corner. But as far as this here, I would eat that. I'm gonna put that in there. Mix that up. So as you can see, there's little bits that are still stuck in there. I still consider this a win. That's a nice controlled spout. Nice controlled pour there.
It really is. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of the size of this Bestargot titanium French press, I've brought out a few of the Stanley kits that you've seen in plenty of our videos. This is the Stanley Adventure Cup. Now one neat thing that I want to show you really quick is that the French press, basically both of these are the same size. So if you take the press out of this one, the lid works perfect on that, which I think is pretty cool. Now here's the even, in my opinion, the cooler part is that you can take this French press system, get all my kit out of here. Now this is the Stanley Adventure Cup using the Bestargot French press, and it presses right down inside that, nice and tight too, and the lid fits and everything. Now one thing to note the rod does not go all the way down to the bottom. Of course, the French press and this are different sizes. Of course, this is shorter than this, so the rod is not going to go all the way down to the bottom. Going to leave a little bit of space down there. But all in all, I think that's really neat that you can do that. And it's a pretty cool point if you want to try to mold these kits together. You can do that. Now that you've seen that, we'll show you in comparison to the Stanley French press, which is still my preferred kit just because of the way I've got it all nested together. I think I like this a little bit better. Now, one thing I will mention, if this Bestargot was the size of this, I would probably go with the Bestargot. But it's not quite as big as the French press, of course, so I like this a little bit better. Now, the main reason that I would go with this one over this, if it was this size, is because if you look down inside, this is all on a threaded rod. So basically, this filter can come apart. Now this, in my mind, is really neat because it allows you to be able to replace the filters. Whereas if I were to, break the seal on this, it's not as easily replaceable. I will also say that this, having this thick plastic in here, does make it a little bit heavier than if you were to go with the titanium. So that's just a couple of points to note there. But another thing that I do like is that this does have the bail wire, which isn't a necessity in my mind, but it is a nice inclusion, a nice extra. A lot of people will mod the Stanley Adventure Cup to have a bail wire. They just incorporate that into the system. I think it's a nice modification to the Adventure Cup, and I think it's worthwhile if you think you'll use it. For me, it's not a necessity, but I think it's pretty nice to have. One thing I will also say is in here, it's got stamped measurements, which are very nice. It prevents you from having to, go out and try to make your own measurements, with the Dremel tool or something like that on the inside. It's already there, so you don't have to worry with it at all. Very nice. Last up here, we have the Adventure.
It's always known. I always knew it as the Mountain Adventure Cook Set, but it's a compact bowl and spork or something.
So this is the compact cook set from Stanley, previously known as the Mountain Cook Set. And this is actually what I use to nest my French press with. So I've actually got a whole video on the mods that I've done to this thing as well. You can check that video out in the link in the description. Back to the Bestargot French press. Really, really like this thing. Now, one thing I do not like is the feel of it. Now, that's very trivial and that's, a very small detail, but it's kind of got a rough feel, whereas the stainless steel that we commonly know with the Stanleys, as well as many other, companies out there, it's got a smooth finish, but this has a little bit of a rougher finish. Now, obviously, I can get past that. That's, like I mentioned, very trivial. But hey, had to find something to complain about with this thing, and if that's all I have, I'd say this is a pretty good piece of kit. I really like this thing, guys. Really, really like it, and I would 110% recommend it. I like all the features with it. Again, being able to replace the screen. So I'm pretty sure that you can find these mesh screens at Walmart. Also, I'm sure you can buy it in a big roll, off of Amazon, something like that. So you could actually make your own filters, which would be pretty neat. And I just really enjoy how they have this system going here. Here is the $4 Walmart cup. Now this will fit inside of this up until the handles. So that's actually kind of cool if you wanted to put some kit up underneath it. like if you just wanted to, because it only comes down about this far. So if you wanted to have some kit down here, you know, it's a good idea. But it's also worth mentioning that you can take the French press system out of this and go right into that. So, I mean, endless combinations with this stuff, guys. Just wanted to show you that. Alrighty folks, so my final thoughts on this piece of kit are that it's a very nice piece of kit for the money. Of course, it's titanium, so perfect for things like the kayak. It's rust proof, or very rust resistant. It's lightweight. Again, the only thing that I didn't really enjoy was the feel of it. Kind of had that, it was almost like
just a rough texture.
Just a rough texture to it. Didn't particularly enjoy it, but again, if that's the only thing that I have to say bad about this piece of kit, I'd say it's a pretty good piece. I like the bail wire, even though, you know, it's not something I use very often. I do like the option of it, as well as the butterfly handles were very nice, very comfortable. It kind of had like a step down to where it would really fit in your fingers nice, and I felt like it was just very well thought out design. The spout seemed to work great, and overall, again, just a great piece of kit for the money. I do wish that it was longer, more of the size of the Stanley French press, but hey, who knows? They might come out with one of those in the future. You never know. But again, blackberry cobbler in it. You can bake in these things, guys. Try it out. It's worth trying, so give it a shot. As always, we thank you for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Hit that applaud button if it's on your heart. As always, may the wings of liberty never lose a feather, and God bless.